And they were the animal stars from Game of Thrones. Now the dire wolf has been resurrected more than 10,000 years after going extinct. Using ancient DNA and grey wolf cells, scientists have produced 3 pups with dire wolf traits. Remus, Romulus and Khaleesi have long white hair, a more muscular jaw and are expected to end up weighing around 63 kilos each.
We edited grey wolf cells to contain those dire wolf DNA variants, and then we cloned those cells and created our dire wolves.
I mean, that is very cute.
Horrifying. Professor Andrew Pask. He was one of the people involved in this de-extinction. Andrew, are you sure this is the right idea? I mean, today, Jurassic World on Twitter, they said that we see no possible way that this could go wrong.
Well, you know, I think the real key thing about this is demonstrating this technology, and it's really about bringing back lost biodiversity, so characteristics and incredible species that have been lost. And they use this exact same technology at Colossal to also clone red wolves. So they're the world's currently most critically endangered wolf species. So they've already been able to apply that technology to help bolster population of red wolves. So it's really about, just showing that you can actually access that DNA and you can actually engineer animals and traits back into existence.
So I get you want to show that it works and you want to practice. Could you practice on something less terrifying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's an incredible species, and it's incredible, you know, with the amount of DNA edits that were made in this species. So there was about 20 genetic edits made to a grey wolf genome that gave this dire wolf phenotype, or the way that that animal looks. And then having done that now, we can actually start to study the biology and ecology, like how this animal acted and behaved, of a completely extinct species.
Could you have brought back like a 12,000-year-old cavoodle, maybe, as well? To go further to Waleed's point, it still sounds scary. Also, I have another question. How similar will it actually be to the OG direwolf? Because no one was there to remember the other one. Like, you're not going to be at the dog park with it and be like, hey, I think that's a knockoff.
Exactly right. So this animal has 20 gene edits. There's a lot of more differences that were in the direwolf genomes. But this was really about demonstrating you can get those major characteristics back. And that's something that Colossal and us are working on for species like the thylacine, where we actually want to put that animal back into the environment in Tasmania so that it can have its role in stabilising the ecosystem again, and then using that technology that's been developed to help rescue related species that are on the brink of extinction.
Has anything surprised you about their behaviour?
They're actually really quite skittish, even though they were raised by humans. You know, they exhibit real wolf-like behaviours, that they don't come up to humans or want to interact with them. They've got that kind of timid interaction that you would see with a wild wolf, for example. It's a good thing, because if you want to understand how an animal behaved and worked, you don't really want them interacting or forming those bonds with humans. So it's a really great thing that they have still that very wild instinct to fear other animals on the landscape that aren't prey.
So, Professor, can you use this same technology to bring other icons back to life, you know, being Lara Bingle or the much-loved morning show Studio 10?
Look, there are limits to what science can do, unfortunately.
Damn it!
Professor, look, it's quite remarkable. Like, you've blown all of our minds. We appreciate your time and congrats.
Thanks very much.